says a lot about me, doesn't it? Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Charlotte and today we're going to do the TBR jar, first one of the year. I am so excited. I didn't do one for December, I think. No, I didn't. Did I? I don't think so. It feels like it's been a year since I've done one last, so I'm very excited about doing it. I am trying like the content creator thing where I'm on the floor, but it looks like my dog really wants to join me, so we'll see how long I sit here. We'll see how long I'm left alone. Now, I have changed some of the books on my TBR cart that I just didn't really feel like getting into at the moment. Like, I've taken away the book of Azrael. I've taken away, what else have I taken away? Oh yeah, I've taken away the housemaid and stuff like that. But I've also added a few. Don't ask why. I've added the next book in the Caravel series because I might want to try and read that one. I've also added this one, which Tom got me for Christmas, which is What Fury Brings. Maybe we'll get a prompt that works with that one. I am going to pick 4 books. I already have one on my TBR that I started. I started it on January 1st. So I feel like 4 picks is a good amount of books for me. I don't really know how January is going to look. I know that there's a lot of stuff happening next week where I don't have the ability to read. So I'm trying to not put too much pressure on myself, which is one of the goals I have for 2026. Just not put too much pressure on myself when it comes to my reading in general. The first book on our TBR that I have already started is Shield of Sparrows. I am 50% way through this book right now. You're getting a reading vlog next week. I'm guessing it's going to be next week. And spoiler, I am enjoying it a lot. So yeah, this one. So first book on the TBR already said and done. And we're going to pick 4 prompts to add to the TBR. I do have like a few books I kind of do want to read. So I'm hoping that I might get prompts for those. But I mean, I might add at least one of them at the end if I don't get any prompts that work with it, just for my own sanity, you know? So yeah, I also have my e-reader here. So if I get anything that I have on an ebook, works perfectly. One of my goals also for 2026 is to not buy books that I feel like I am going to want to read at some point. If I'm going to buy the book, I'm going to buy the book because I want to read it now, if that makes sense. And yet sometimes that turns into whenever because you forget about it and it kind of gets lost in the masses. But I'm going to try and be better about it and see if they, oh my God, did I get it away? Like, see if they have it at the library or maybe, you know, get it as an ebook and not necessarily as a physical book. Because I don't know, I like the physical books, but I don't know, maybe just because I feel like if I get them on my e-reader, I'll get them when I'm going to read them, if that makes sense. So I'll buy it and then read it almost like straight away and not buy it and put it aside for later because I'm not at the bookstore every day. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, okay? So please don't burst my bubble. Also, if you have any prompts to put into the TBR jar, please add them in the comment section so I can fill this up all the way with fun little tidbits that we can do. So without further ado, we got one. This one says, let's meet a single dad. Now, I don't mind meeting a single dad at all, but do I have a single dad to meet? Well, I do have one on my e-reader. I do know that I have one on my e-reader. So it might just be that one. I don't think you are. No, that's an employee. So no, that's young adult. Well, they might have a single dad as a dad, but that's not how we want to meet a single dad. Or at least that's not how I'm interpreting meeting a single dad, you know? I think I read all my single dad books, which says a lot about me, doesn't it? It really says a lot about me. Okay, let's see what we have here. Cashing the Wild. That is a single dad series from what I understand. All of the books are age gap. Well, not single dad. They're all not necessarily single dad, but they're all age gap. So what if I view in store and we go down a little bit more? It says, oh, my ex-boyfriend's father. Is he married? No. I don't think he's married, or if he is, he forgot about it. I think we're just gonna jump on that one because, well, I already own it. That's gonna be the second book on our TBR because Shield of Sparrows is first. We're gonna need a new one, right? And it's going to be this one. And this one says potential 5-star read. What do we think is a good potential 5-star read? Okay, so I've picked a few of my TBR. First one is Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't know that much about it. I know that this is a band and it's like interviews with the band and it's in interview form. Some people don't like reading it, but they love the audiobook, and some people really can't stand the audiobook because it's interview form, but they love the book. Either way, I've heard great stuff, and Taylor Jenkins Reid is also fantastic. This, I just realized I've only pulled 2 different authors and I have 4 books. Then we have Atmosphere. This is just a Norwegian one, so if it looks a little bit weird, like you don't understand it's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Don't know much about this one either. I know that it is, I want to say like woman in STEM. It's from the 1980s, yeah, and she is one of the first female, is it like research something or other, physicist in NASA, and you get to follow along her story and some other stories, I think. And I've heard great stuff about this one as well. So, I mean, both of these Taylor Jenkins Reid's books could be fantastic to read. And then we have My Friends by Fredrik Backman. If you've been here before, you've heard me rave about him. The way he writes and the way he puts feelings into the pages, and you feel with them and you long with them, and the way he kind of puts things very into perspective. But yeah, My Friends, why wouldn't I want to read another one of his? This is supposed to be the best one he's written in a while. In a while. It's the best one until the next one comes out. I don't know anything about this one either. I got it as an ARC through work. So the only thing I know is that this book came about after he had like a life crisis of some sort, and that's what makes this to the best book that he has ever written, according to the critics. I do have a band on this one because I did briefly start it before Christmas, and then I realized I don't need help becoming depressed before Christmas, so I paused it. But this is the last book. It's The Winners. Yeah, I know the covers are ugly. I like the English covers way more. But this is the 3rd book in the Beartown series, and I am leaning towards reading this one because I can finish a series before I go to read the next ones. And there's just something about Beartown that keeps on pulling me in, and I do really want to finish the series. So maybe this one. I think this one is a good one. Yeah. And I'm so sorry that the only ones I now recommended was Fredrik Backman and Taylor Jenkins Reid, but that's just the way it is with life, I guess. Then we have prompt number 3. Dark cover. Oh, well, that narrows it down, doesn't it? I have Hollow. Does that count as a dark cover? I mean, she's pretty bright, but I think it counts like a dark cover because it doesn't have to be completely black. So Hollow is 1. Okay, so Hollow is 1. I don't know if this one counts. I don't know if it's dark enough, but I also have Assistant to the Villain. I know this series isn't done. There's one more book, I think, but I only have the first one. So, I mean, I kind of need to know if I like the series first, right? And I mean, it's kind of dark. I feel like it works. This is a YA series from what I know. She is the assistant to the villain, and I think there's some yearning and some longing and some longing and some yearning. She wasn't light, she was color. Every single one. Dancing outerworldly and bright over his unworthy eyes. She was the explosion of the vivid gleams and glows of the world around him, like a content rainbow, shining not after the rain, but during. Okay, so apparently he's very into her as well. That's fun. One job, don't fall for the boss. Well, I have a feeling you fail. You fail at your job, you're fired. So yeah, I feel like that's one. I feel like that's a good one. I also have God of Pain. It's the 2nd book in the Legacy of God series. I devoured God of Malice. I loved it, and I tried picking this one up, and I don't know, it didn't hook me. I read 2 chapters, and it didn't really hook me. I don't know, I wasn't in the mood for dark romance, I think. But I have heard not necessarily great things, but good things, because people have a tendency to shit on dark romance for no reason. So maybe this one as well. This one is about Craigton and is Annika? Yeah, about Annika and Craig. I think this is kind of Grumpy Sunshine. From what I can remember, he's very quiet, and she's not. So I love that for him, you know, won't get a word in. We have the third book in the Crown of Nyaxia series, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. It's the first one in the Shadowborn duet. This is Misha's story. This is vampire, and that's all I know. This is one of the stories that I really want to go into blindly. I loved The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Can you hear my dog snoring? He's sleeping so soundly. I enjoyed, like I said, The Serpent and the Wings of Night so much. Sadly didn't enjoy the second book as much, but I'm very excited about Misha's story, so that's one that I kind of also want to keep on reading, and I'm dropping them. And we also have Miss Chelsea Curto, In the Dark. Did I start this one? Yes, I did. Did I softy enough it? Also yes. But the thing was, when I read this one, I had a lot of shit going on in my life. There were so many components that I couldn't get into the story. I had to put it down and just pick up something that was very easy for me to read. Now, I mean, it is an easier, darker romance, so I shouldn't be blaming that, but I just needed something comfy cozy. So I don't know, I needed something that I knew and I was secure in, and you know, my security blanket. So I put it down because I didn't want the story to suffer, because I was suffering, which sadly happens a lot. I don't know, like the two, I'm kind of in between these two. And the reason I'm in between these two is because I've heard people rave about this one. I have a friend, hi Ari, that has read it and has raved about it several times. So I'm very excited to read it. But I also do want to finish this because I do feel like I gave up, or softy enough it, at a point where the story was just about to get good. The only thing is, I've read the DC Star series from her, right? And this one, the spice came like very quickly, but also in kind of like a weird way, and it was set over Halloween, and I'm not a big scary person. I don't like being scared. I don't like scaring people. I'm not that into pranks. So maybe I should read it when it's lighter outside. Maybe that's a good argument. I should read it when it's not dark outside and I won't get in my head about it. And oh my god, you really do snore loudly, don't you? He does. Maybe I should go with Hollow. Wait, do I have anything else? Do I have anything else I might want to read? Because I can't really see anything here that, you know, sparks joy. I have A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly, Red Rising. I don't know what you are because you're not, you know, fully in. I think actually we're gonna go with Hollow. I'm gonna try and read Hollow because I got the book and I got the audiobook as a gift. So I think I want to read it. Mostly because it's a gift, but also because I've heard people rave about it, even though I feel like I keep on saying I've soft DNF'd Zodiac Academy, but to be fair, I've DNF'd it. I haven't really gone back to it. So okay, now fourth and final one. A book with an odd number of pages. So basically whatever it is I feel like reading, as long as it has an odd number of pages. I hate it here. No, do I want to put myself through that? I have, last year in January and in February, I read the entire Twisted series and I hated my life. So I put this one, King of Wrath, because I have it, on my TBR. Now the question is, do I want to just put myself through it and get over with it, you know? Vivian, because it does have an uneven amount of pages if you count the epilogue, which I do, even though I don't always read the epilogue. Now, do I want to hurt myself that much? That's the question. That's the age-old question, isn't it? Or doesn't it show how many? Because it's a different one. Oh, acknowledgements? No. Say You Remember Me. Okay, so I have 3 books here. I mean, they're kind of different, but also kind of the same. I mean, it's the Christian Grey of dark romance, so not really from what I understand. Don't know anything about it because I haven't cared, because I didn't like the Twisted series, but I got book 1 and book 2 in this series as a gift, and people have said that even though you don't like the Twisted series, you might like this one because they're a different set of men. So maybe I'll try this one. This one is ruthless, meticulous, arrogant. Okay, that's Dante. Dante Rosso thrives on control both personally and professionally. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered, Vivian Liu is the perfect daughter and her family ticket into an upper echelons of high society. Okay. Marrying a blue-blooded Rosso means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her now new money family, while the rude elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. It never is. Neither was the worst thing she could possibly do, fall in love with her future husband. It's usually a bad idea anyways. Then we have Revolved. This is the final book from, I think it's the final book in the Of the Eyes series. I think that's the name of this series, Of the Eyes. Collide, what I remember is that I found the FMC to be horrible. I thought I didn't like her. Can't remember anything from the second book, but I've heard this one is the best in this series. So maybe we'll do this one. This is figure skating and hockey player, and that's all I know. And then you have Say You Remember Me. Say You Remember Me is Abby Jimenez, naturally. And I don't really know much about this one either, other than it's long distance and they are normal people. I think she takes care of a sick family member and he's a vet. So nobody's a billionaire, nobody can buy you Times Square, you know, nothing like that. It's timing and it's supposed to be more realistic, which is what I kind of want from a book as well. I don't need it to be billionaires upon billionaires, you know, buying the Eiffel Tower so you can see the lights sparkle. I don't always need all of that. I sometimes I do just want normal people to find normal people. So this is also one. So we're like in between these ones, you know. These ones. These are the ones. And I know I said that I should read. The Summer I Turned Pretty when it was summer, and this one also gives a little bit more summer vibes. But hear me out. I want to read it now. That's my argument. That is literally my argument. What do we have? We have 2 fantasy books, we have a contemporary one, and we have an age gap book with a single dad because it's ex-boyfriend's dad. So I don't have any sports romances. I don't have any of these. So I don't feel like I have anything that, like, none of these kind of fit in the categories that I already have, but in my head. Content warning, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, no, I don't want to read that. I'm not into that right now. We're gonna go with Revolve. Even though this is technically a standalone and the second book isn't coming out until later this year, because the second book in this series is coming out, can't remember the date, but it's called Take Me Back to the, no, it's called The Night We Met. It's just called The Night We Met. I'm gonna read this one so I can finish this series and kind of tick it off in my brain. Please don't tell me there's more. There's probably one more. I feel like there's always one more. But yeah, there we have it. There we have it. I made my TBR. It's these ones, and I'm very happy about it. Will I get to read all of them? I mean, only time will tell. Only time will tell. Wait, never mind. I might want to switch things up. Who knows? Because I don't want to sit down and read a book just because I have it on my TBR. If it doesn't spark joy when I'm starting to read it, I'm going to put it aside. And a lot of the books that I took away are books that I know never kind of spark any type of joy, which is sad to say because I've owned them. They did spark joy at some point, but I took them away, and hopefully, you know, I'll be able to add them back later when they don't annoy me. That was it for this TBR jar video. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your precious time with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope my dog didn't snore too much for your liking. I'm sorry. Hopefully I get to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.